Hi, my name is Joey Waldon, and I'm an artist. I live in Texas. I moved to the Dallas area. 16 years ago, I signed a 6-month lease to live in an old house, an old beautiful house full of personality and experiences of many people. And I turned it into my art studio. And I basically dropped out of society to become a painter, to live the life of Gauguin and Van Gogh, two of my greatest inspirations. I've been inspired by a variety of artists, from Picasso to Calder to Appel, Jacques-Louis David. I love art. And at a certain period in my life, I listened clearly to the voice of what some may call God, what I call its truth. It's the universe. But I took enough silent time to hear that voice say to me, "You love art, you should be an artist." And so naturally the seeds of those thoughts were watered, and I decided to become a painter, and not just limit myself to that, but also a writer, to use words and to use color and line and shape to express the truths of my soul. And from that point on, I became dedicated, and I told myself that I would do it until I died, or I would paint myself into a coroner, pun completely intended. And that's what I so far feel like I've done. But every day is a beautiful day, and I live life passionately to paint and to write, to draw, to express love, truth, and happiness. It's one of my favorite things to do, is to express that. I do it mainly with paint at this point in my life, acrylic paint. And I consider myself to be an expressionist and a surrealist, but mainly an expressionist. But borderline Texas surrealist. And I infuse a lot of my work with humor because I have a funny spirit. I have a childlike awe with my perspective in life. And so that fuels the initial seeds of thought to make the shapes come to form, to allow my metaphors to enter in and allow me to paint either a Ronald McDonald type character as a symbol of democracy, not so much as a symbol of fast food, but as a symbol of democracy. So my metaphors are just my personal metaphors. If I was to paint an owl, it's because one appeared to me after a friend died, and I saw it as a messenger from God saying, you're immortal and you also shall pass, and it will be beautiful, but enjoy every day and spread love. So I hear these things, and that's why they become paintings for me. Some of them, as surreal and as odd as they might seem, mean a lot to me, and I'm happy to explain them to anyone who should ask. But if you enjoy them and it inspires you, it doesn't really even matter what they mean. It just means that there's another bridge to another place for another artist that feels passionate about that as a means of expressing themselves. And so it's been nice to be able just to say this and to feel it. And through the work that I've done up to this point in my life, know that it just came from truth, from love, and from the joy of being alive. And so I have to be alive. Remember, every day is a blessing.
Right.
Yeah. I always wanted to be an artist, and oddly enough, there were no artists in my family. We didn't know any artists. I grew up in the artery-clogged heartland of America, Peoria, Illinois, home of the cheese wheel, the cheese hubcap, and the cheese brake shoes, I believe. I'm not sure, but I know there's got to be some other parts that come with all that cheese product. And so I really wasn't around art, but I felt art, oddly, when I would look at it as a young boy. Whenever I'd see an art book, or on field trips, if we went to the Field Museum in Chicago, I would just look at this work and wonder, why is this work here? Why is this subject matter here? Why was the question that echoed in my head? And as I got older and became more of an artist and more interested in being an artist, I also sought the answer to that question, why? And it was a beautiful journey, because I found out that art is history. Art is truth. Art is expressing oneself from not having corporate or government sponsorship. Art is your soul letting people know who you are and what you feel without yelling at them or whispering. It's a truth that comes forth that's like accepting of a higher power. It's very spiritual, art is. And you fall into this vortex of living daily and happily that way, and with a powerful now, and with such a guiding force of truth that and I've never done heroin, but it's got to be a lot like doing heroin. So you eventually become so addicted to being an artist that it's a lifestyle, it's a religion, it's a garment, it's something you wear. When you walk into a room, people could look at that guy and go, that guy's an artist. You know, he's a freelance renegade. Yeah, that man makes up a lot of his own rules. But he never does it to harm anyone. He does it out of love. That's what a true artist does. Inspires and spreads love. So I'm happy to be able to voice that truthfully and happily, and I hope it catches on like a beautiful virus or a magnificent hug that makes someone feel the other person's soul and they know each other's good. So carry on. Fly high. Get high and fly. All of that. God be with you, or goodness be with you. I love you.